You get this crazy immediate hit piece on you. When was this? This was like
September,
last fall, right? So it's last September.
That's Dave Rubin giving Russell Brand an out by calling the 4-year investigation into him a hit piece. Where have we seen this kind of framing before?
Hey, you mentioned the internet and all this kind of stuff. You just kind of popped up for the first time with some scrutiny, like public scrutiny, an article and stuff like this. What was that? What was that all about? What was that like?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot there was a bro podcaster playbook for this kind of thing. Let's revisit the accusations against Brand. The BBC offered a synopsis last October. One woman alleging that Brand raped her without a condom against a wall in his LA home. A second woman who said he engaged in grooming behavior because she was 16 when she met him. He was in his early 30s. A third woman claiming sexual assault in Los Angeles. A fourth woman alleging sexual assault as well, this one in the UK. And all of that gets you embraced by right-wing podcasters. There's a lot that I want to say about his politics and where his content has gone, but Rubin tries to get him to talk about fatherhood, which they spend a lot of time discussing. And as he digs into Brand's family life, it turns to the inevitable, which is Russell talking about his own fame.
When you live in the public eye, there's a danger that everything becomes a kind of a commodity. Fume draws flavour to your mouth, fills a void that ditching bad habits leaves.
Honestly, that's all expectable by now, but the rest of the podcast turns into a grievance session because obviously it's Russell who's really been hurt by all of this.
I've always been so candid about my, for example, promiscuity and the way that I lived and my drug use, and I would sleep with anybody and all of that stuff.
He's grabbing at my underwear, pulling it to the side. I'm telling him to get off me and he won't get off.
And all of that stuff.
Like holding me up against the wall, pushing himself in me.
And all of that stuff.
But I saw that he had his penis out of his shorts or trousers and it was in his hands.
When I was subject to allegations, I was affected, negatively impacted by that.
Wow, Russell, it's really too bad you were negatively affected by all this, but I'm sure you've owned up to it by now.
You know, going through like what happened towards the end of last year, where I felt like I was subject to a significant media assault. And it's something that the investigations into that have been sort of so fascinating and has revealed so much already in terms of the various agencies involved and government departments. And it was astonishing and revealing and interesting.
It's not ironic that Brand's video today is about Donald Trump, the victim, because in 2024, the white men being the victim plays really well, especially if there's accusations of sexual abuse against you. Then how does Russell flip it?
I was a very promiscuous person, and that's a kind of a moral behavior that needs assessing and remedying, but not from a criminal perspective, but from a moral one.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of it, I was like, oh my God, he raped me.
Sounds pretty criminal to me if these accusations are true. But no, in your mind, it's all about the deep state salt against you, which makes up the predominant amount of your content. How convenient. And then after saying that the allegations were biblical, he actually invokes the secret.
This is what I believe now. The reason I've become Christian is because if something happens to you, it's meant to happen to you. I can't engage in that shouldn't have happened. That's unfair that that's been said. I recognize that the reality you live is the reality that you're meant to experience.
And I wonder how those 4 women and who knows how many more feel about that.